Advaitam,
Advaitam,
without a second.
without a second.
Achyutam,
Achyutam,
without decay.
without decay.
Anadim,
Anadim,
without a beginning.
without a beginning.
Anantarupam,
Anantarupam,
whose form is endless,
whose form is endless.
or
Or
who possesses
who possesses
unlimited forms.
unlimited forms.
Adyam,
Adyam,
the beginning.
beginning.
Purana Purusham,
Puruṣa,
the most ancient person.
the most ancient person.
Navayovanam,
Navayovanam,
a blooming youth.
blooming youth.
Cha,
Cha,
also.
also.
Vedeshu,
Vedeshu,
through the Vedas.
through the Vedas.
Durlabham,
Durlabham,
inaccessible.
inaccessible.
Adurlabham,
Adurlabham,
not difficult to obtain.
not difficult.
Atmabhakto,
Bhakto,
through pure devotion
pure devotion
of the soul.
of the soul.
Govindam,
Govinda,
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 Adi Purusham,
Adi
the original person.
Puruṣa,
Tam,
Tam,
him,
him,
aham, I, Ajami, worship. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtained by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, and who is the beginning, and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is the person possessing the beauty of the blooming youth. I worship
I worship
Govinda,
Govinda,
the primeval Lord,
the primeval Lord,
who is inaccessible
who is inaccessible
to the Vedas,
Vedas,
but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul,
of the soul,
who is without a second,
who is without a second,
who is not subject to decay,
who is not subject to
is without a beginning,
is without a beginning,
whose form is endless,
whose form is endless,
who is the beginning,
who is the beginning,
and the eternal Purusha.
eternal.
Yet
Yet
he is a person
he is a person
possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
of blooming youth.
Purport. Advaita means indivisible truth, who is knowledge absolute. Brahman, the infinite, emanates from him as the effulgence, and God eminent, Paramatma, as his constituent. But nevertheless, he remains one and indivisible. Achyuta means that through myriads of avatars, though myriads of avatars emanate from him as subjective portions, and believes the jiva, the separated spiritual particle, still remains intact as the undivided whole of the fullest perfection. Though he indulges in exhibiting the pastimes of birth, etc., still he is without a beginning. Though he disappears after the pastimes of his appearance, still he is eternal. Though without origin, yet he is with the origin in the pastime of appearance. And although eternal essence, he is still a person in the full bloom of youth. The sum and substance of it is that though he possesses diverse and apparently mutually contradictory qualities, still they are in universal harmonious concordance by dint of his unthinkable potency. This is what is meant by Chit Dharma, transcendental nature, as distinguished from the material. His graceful threefold bending form, with flute in his hand, possesses eternal blooming youth, and is above all unwholesomeness that is to be found in limited time and space. In the transcendental realm, there is no past, present, and future, but only the unalloyed and immutable present time. In the transcendental sphere, there is no distinction between the object and its qualities, and no such identity is found in the limited mundane region. Hence, those qualities that seem to be apparently contradictory in the light of the mundane conception, limited by time and space, exist in agreeable and dainty concordance in the spiritual realm. How can the jiva realize such unprecedented existence? The limited intellectual function of the jivas is always contaminated by the influence of time and space, and is therefore not in a position to shake off this limitedness. If the potency of the cognitive function does not extend to the realization of the transcendental, what else can? In reply, Brahma says that the transcendental absolute is beyond the reach of the Vedas. The Vedas originate in sound, and sound originates in the mundane ether. So the Vedas cannot present before us direct view of the transcendental world Goloka. It is only when the Vedas are imbued with the Chit potency that they are enabled to deal with the transcendental. But Goloka reveals itself to the very Jiva soul when it is under the influence of spiritual cognitive potency, joined with the essence of the ecstatic energy. The ecstatic function of the devotion is boundless and is surcharged with unalloyed transcendental knowledge. That knowledge reveals Goloka Tattva, the principle of the highest transcendental, in unison with devotion, without asserting itself separately, but as a subsidiary to the unalloyed devotion. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Vashadadeshatarani. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is one of the famous verses of Brahma Samhita and expertly presented by Prabhupada's Guru, Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada. Prabhupada also quoted this verse many times. Advaita, it starts, there are so many points on this. Let me take one most interesting thing which today struck me. It's about living in the present. Nowadays, a lot of philosophers and motivators, they call themselves. We should live in the present. The point is why this kind of an idea is there. Everything has to have a source, an origin. Why this even concept is there? We should live in the present. Correct? People have this concept. We should live in the present. Yogi, you can switch on. So why even this concept is there that we should live in the present? Because that is what is there in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world there is no past and there is no future. Why is it so? Because nothing happens there. We say, what happened? Always we are in fear. What happened? What happened? Nothing inauspicious anyway happens in the spiritual world. And not only that, there is nothing new in the sense of every day the same Krishna we meet. Every day we are the same team which are going to play with Krishna. Correct? So there is nothing new in that sense. There was once we can try to understand this point first. In the material world, what happens? That any moment, padam padam vibhadamanatesha, any moment something will happen. We say, when we meet together, we discuss news, some past or some future. What happened? That person got injured yesterday. That person now has resigned. That person became the Prime Minister. Like in the news now, these people have become the new cabinet set of ministers. Correct? Prabhupada used to joke, one fool represents another fool, there is no use. But still, people are excited. What happened? New news. Every day in the material world, there is something called news. In the spiritual world, there is no news. In that sense, of material sense. On the material sense, some kind of a calamity does not happen there. So what kind of news? And at the same time, nothing changes also. Every day you see Krishna, stay smiling. Every day you. But what changes is your love for Krishna. Every day, Ananda Buddhi Vardhana. Unlimited love for Krishna we experience in the spiritual world. And that is what is changing in the spiritual world. Nothing else is happening. My love for Krishna becomes more mature every day and it expands. Krishna every day looks more and more beautiful every day. It is not that Krishna is X beautiful. No, it is unlimitedly beautiful, and that also increases. Okay? So that is what is happening in the spiritual world. Constantly things are changing. But in the material world, spiritual world, things are same. What is changing is my devotion to Krishna. Every day it becomes enhanced. Now come to the material world, everything is limited. We discussed this point many times. We're limited because our desires are also crooked. So you're not given unlimited resources anyway. When a devotee becomes fully surrendered to the Lord, there is nothing limited. Everything is unlimited for him. And on top of it, whatever it is there in the material world decays and goes after some time. It has a temporary life. Nothing in the material world is going to stay. It goes through Shadavikara and it is going to vanish. Therefore, in this world, there is something called past, present, and future. You are impractical if you are not thinking. They say, no, only think about present. Oh, it's not practical. You have to think, no, what will happen when I finish my college? What should I do? Which job I will take? Only think about present is not practical. And past, I have to learn from so many mistakes I did in the past. How can you say don't think about past? It's simply utopian thinking. Just they say happiness is state of mind, some psychologists. So be happy all the time. We cannot become like a child. No? Child doesn't know anything and is foolishly happy. It doesn't mean anything. That is foolishness. In ignorance, suppose you show happiness, that is not happiness. They say forget about past, future anyway, who has seen, be happy now. That is stupidness. But in the spiritual world, actually it happens, people live in the present. Why? Because there is no past in the spiritual world and there is no future in the spiritual world. It is eternally the same. That is the beauty of the spiritual world. It is eternally the same. So we can live in the present only in the spiritual world. We cannot live in the present in the material world. It is not practical. A devotee can live in the present in the material world. There is a reason for it. Why a devotee lives in the present in the material world? Because he surrenders to Krishna. So even though this is the material world, it becomes the spiritual world. So he lives in the present. How he lives in the present? Because whatever is going to happen, he knows Krishna is in control. It will only happen for good. Whatever had happened in the past, also he knows I deserved it. More than I deserved it. Krishna was kindly facilitated that. So devotee in that sense is very peaceful. Okay? So now let us go word by word. The first thing is saying Advaitam. And there is no two. There are many people who pray to Krishna. That we want to have a child like Krishna. We want to have a child like Krishna. And how is it possible? Like Krishna. So Krishna had to personally come. There are many devotees who pray. And after the Lord came in front of them, my Lord, I want to have a child like you. So what did happen? Krishna had to personally come. There is a duplicate, Advaita. Another way of Advaita is that even though Krishna has millions of incarnations, you may say, okay, no two. But you see Krishna, we see Balaram, and we see Mahavishnu. When Krishna was personally present, Parashuram came, and Lord Rama time also Parashuram was there. Lakshman is also same only. So there is two, no? No, there is still one. Even though there are some people who understood Advaita between Jiva and the Lord. There is no Advaita between Jiva and the Lord. But there is Advaita between Lord and all his expansions. There is Advaita between them. Some people have conceived of Advaita Tattva, Advaita, Shankaracharya's philosophy. Advaita, Kevala Advaita Tattva. It says that between me and the Lord there is no difference. Actually, it is not true. There is difference. There is Dvaita between me and the Lord. But between the Lord and His various expansions, like Paramatma situated within our heart, and His unlimited expansions of the Lord, all the incarnations in this world, there are varieties of incarnations mentioned by Lord Chaitanya, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya when He is instructing Sanatana Goswami. There is no difference. Prabhu, Vilasa, Vaibhava, Prakasha, no difference. All His various expansions. When Krishna was eating with cowherd boys, each one of them had brought something to offer to Krishna. So each one of them is, Krishna, please accept this. And mystically, Krishna was accepting one hand in front of everyone. Give. He's not saying you wait now. There are, say, Krishna is surrounded by 200, 300 boys, all intimate gopas, correct? Small boys. But they are unimaginable devotees. And Brahma asked them, my God, what are the privileges these people are having? What privilege they are having? In one of the Brahma's prayer is that these people are offering, anybody remembers the shloka? Then? Paradevate. It says, the same what the yogis are meditating in trance at the lotus feet of the Lord, the same personality, the same Supreme Personality is playing with these boys. The yogis go to the forest, they try to meditate. He's just imagining how much spiritual credit they must be having. Does punya refer to here is not material punya? How much spiritual credit they must be having to get this opportunity. Correct? We should also imagine if we can get this opportunity to play with Krishna. He plays. So small children play, they come, they're tired, they keep hitting their hair, every day we see them. But imagine the opportunity to play with Krishna. How much spiritual credit must be there with these boys? Correct? They were actually really fortunate, but they're very advanced devotees. Playing the part of the Krishna. That is all of us have some eternal relationship with Krishna. So those who have the relationship of cowherd boys, when you become spiritual perfect, you will go and join in the same pastime. We have not only forgotten Krishna, we have also forgotten, imagine our level of ignorance. Tamasoma Jyotirgama, people say, people don't know what's the meaning. It doesn't mean switch off UPS and sit in the light. That doesn't mean Tamasoma Jyotirgama. People think that is what it is. Some people think come out of Tamaguda and come to Rajaguda. You're always sleeping, get up and start working. They think like that. No, that doesn't mean. Some people think knowledge of the soul at least, that is Jyoti. No. A real revival of the knowledge is, you remember the Lord. Prabhupada says, we don't focus on all this thing. When you see the sun, you see yourself also. When you see the sun, you see yourself also. Similarly, when you realize God, you slowly see ourselves also. We are not directly first trying to realize the soul, just like the Mayavadis do. What do? They go to the forest and they try to meditate in isolated place, holy place. I am not this hand, I am not this hand, I am not this hand. I am not this leg, I am not this leg. They keep doing that, neti, and finally I am the soul. That is the great thing they achieve. That takes Sibir Tapasya. Kleshodhikarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam. Krishna also certifies very troublesome paths. Devotee, what he does? He just tries to serve Krishna. Voluntarily, he comes forward how to please Krishna. That is the privilege of a devotee. And what happens then? Krishna reveals. When you see the sun, you see yourself also, others also you see. There is no need of so much kashta for a devotee, neti, not needed. So all these boys were so fortunate actually, because they were directly offering service to Krishna. And then at that time, now there are whatever boys, hundreds or thousands, actually spiritual world is unlimited. There is no way it is limited. Krishna manifested the pastimes in the limited material world. So he exhibited some hundreds of boys. But in the spiritual world, there is no limitation. It is unlimited. That word is different. The word of the unlimited, what we have been discussing. So all the boys know what somebody wants to offer something to Krishna. And Krishna mystically, all boys feel, he's taking from me only. Because when it becomes patient. Suppose there are a lot of people and they want to meet you. and you look at one person, he feels very privileged, correct? You go to meet some very big minister and all, and useless people, but what to do? Work happens through that. And he gives attention, I want to talk to you. He feels so privileged. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality. All the boys are waiting if Krishna will give me attention and accept my offering. Krishna simultaneously accepts offering from each one of them. And all the boys feel, only with me he is accepting the offering. They feel very special. And Rasilila was happening. Krishna was dancing with each the gopi. But they were feeling, he is dancing with me only. They were feeling, Krishna has satisfied the devotees. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu same Krishna only, when there was a Sankirtan going around Jagannath Rath Yatra. At that time there were 7 parties. They were all dancing. And in each party there was one. Some party Nityananda Prabhu was dancing, some party Advaita Acharya, some party Haridas Thakur. Like that, his top devotees were there. They were singing and dancing in each. Harinam Sankirtan was going on. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in each one. Not everybody could see the advance of them, his devotees could see. He is present in every one of his Sankirtan party and dancing with the devotees. So Lord is not limited, he is unlimited. So even though these are all different manifestations of the Lord, some manifestations where Lord at the same pastime is present in so many forms, still it is the same person only, not become two now. Correct? Either Krishna is present in Paramatma in each one of us heart, still he is one person. Or you take his incarnation where there are forms even you take Swayam Rupa, I talked about Swayam Rupa forms. And then there are so many incarnations of the Lord which are seemingly a little different, like Balaram is there, or we have the incarnations of Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, so many incarnations are there. Still it is same one person. Now this is unimaginable, but it is true. Krishna's potency is Advaita, even though he manifests so many things. And the next word is Achyuta. So Acharya says, Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada says, Achyuta means even though so many unlimited forms are coming out of him, either plenary or differentiated. Jiva are the differentiated forms. There is a difference between Lord and the Jiva. But the unlimited expansions of the Lord, it is one self-same. There's a Prabhupada says personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore it is not easy to understand that word, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Among those Advaitas, Krishna is the Supreme Personality, Chief Personality. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasa Prantya. But even though then, it is same one person. When you refer Krishna, it includes everything. It includes all the incarnations, everything it includes. Achyuta means even though from Krishna, like spiritual spark, unlimited living entities are coming, and unlimited expansions are coming out, incarnations are coming out, still he is the same person. And he does not reduce, Achyuta. He does not fall down. There is explained in Ishopanishad. What is it explained in Ishopanishad? Ishopanishad explains, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate. Okay, so that Advaita Achyuta. And the next word comes Anadi. Anadi means without a beginning. And now Krishna, seemingly it looks contradictory because he took birth of Vasudeva Devaki. He accepted Mother Yashoda as his foster father and Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, foster mother and father. But still at the same time, in so many other incarnations also, he had a father as Lord Rama here, Dasharatha. So many parents are there. But still he has no beginning. This is all Brahma. The Lord has no Anadi. He does not have an origin. Ananta Rupa. He has unlimited forms which he manifests in front of the devotees. Advaita Achyutam Anadi Ananta Rupam Adyam. Even though he does not have origin, he is the origin of all the living entities. Of all the jivas, Krishna is the origin. Purana Puruṣam. He is the oldest personality. It is said that there was a time that there was no Brahma, there was no Indra, there was nobody. But Krishna was there. No Shiva, nothing was there. Krishna was there. What is the mantra? There is the Upanishad mantra. That nothing was there. These things were not there, but Krishna is there, Orishna. And then after everything is dissolved, the whole material creation is dissolved, Shiva Krishna will exist. So Purana Puruṣa is the oldest personality. So people have an idea, they have this philosophy, some people, and that Lord is very old and is holding Atlas somehow, maintaining this universe. No. Navayovanamcha is ever youthful. Vedeshu Durlava. Vedeshu Durlava means it's very difficult to achieve from the Vedas. Because a simple academic study of the Vedas, you cannot understand God at all. You cannot understand by academic study. Oh, he's a big Sanskrit scholar. Therefore we say so many presses are there in India. They print even Bhagavad Gita, other books, very cheap, 2 rupees, 3 rupees. Prabhupada says, 3rd class philosophy, 4th class paper. And Prabhupada was asked, don't worry. They were saying, Prabhupada, how will you distribute in India where these books are being distributed for 1 rupee, 2 rupee only? They gave this much value. Prabhupada, don't worry. What is the mistake they're doing, even though all intentions are good? They just collect some Sanskrit scholar. How you can with the mundane word explain the transcendental words? Those words have to become transcendental. Correct? Therefore, the chit potency of the Lord have to bless it. And there was one memory of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada, devotees went to Vrindavan, and Prabhupada went to, he had a group of people, Vaishnavas whom he used to associate. So when Prabhupada was going to America, before that he had his books in his hand. And he went to all of them, please bless these books. They can do the work. So chit potency is, unlocked in the Vedas when submissively approach and pray for the Lord to manifest. Otherwise, even you read these books, if you don't read with the blessings of the Lord and His devotees, it will look like ink and paper, kuch likha hai. But it will, the spiritual world, how can the spiritual world manifest? Through the mundane time and space. Therefore Prabhupada is saying, a very interesting word is saying, very interesting, Vaksana Prabhupada. Therefore he is not in a position to shake off this limitedness of time and space. A jiva is not able to shake the limitedness of time and space in which he is stuck. He can't do it. And that is without his, outside his capacity. He is stuck. Because we are so much used to time and space of this world. When you hear about the spiritual world, in which there is no past and future, in which there is no end, the spiritual planets, you cannot give a dimension. Earth, you can give a dimension. Sun, you can give a dimension. Correct? Spiritual world, can you give the dimension? What is the size of Goloka planet? You can't give. It's unlimited. It's unlimited. There are unlimited Vaikuntha planets. Can you measure it? No, it's unlimited. Just like Krishna's mother was trying to bind Krishna. Krishna showed the unlimited feature. Now we will meditate on that from tomorrow. From tomorrow we have the Kartik Aarti. And Mother Yashoda, Krishna was doing a lot of naughty activities. So Mother Yashoda, she said, I will go to bind you today. So she took a rope and she was about to tie Krishna to a motor, some grinding motor, something heavy. So when she was about to bind him, she always found the rope short. She kept bringing more and more rope, but she could never tie it. It was short at the end. Krishna showed the spiritual world is unlimited. You're trying to tie with a rope which is limited. How can you use limited to measure the unlimited? You take your scale, just like somebody said this, atheists, they have this argument, they give an argument. And people who don't know the philosophy, they fail to answer this. Their argument is, can God create a stone which He cannot lift? Can God create a stone which He cannot lift? They say that. So never God is, then they say, see, you're fake, you're philosopher, no? When devotees went to Prabhupada, they asked this question, Prabhupada, what is it? Simple answer. Their idea of God is very static. God can create a stone which He cannot lift. Then after that, He'll expand and become more powerful and lift it. Krishna is always expanding. Krishna's potentials are always expanding. It is not static. Nothing is static. Krishna, now this much He can do, no? He will ever expanding in His unlimited potencies. Whole spiritual world is differently constituted. So because we are you, sometimes people ask this question, who is the father of Krishna? And they think they have asked a very intelligent question. Okay? Many people approach and okay, you say God is the supreme father, but I have one question. Who is the father of Krishna? And they think they challenge the devotees with the unanswerable question. No, sir. Because you're stuck in material time and space, because you're stuck in a world where Shadvikara is happening, everything is born and everything dies, you think spiritual world also is like that. Spiritual world is not like that. Spiritual world, nothing is born and nothing dies. There was a devotees in one time, I told this previously, but now in this same meditation, they made a telegraphic machine, a connection between their press in Los Angeles and Dai Nippon, which was a printer in Japan. So suppose they want to send urgently some message, some paragraph to be added to the book, they can just telegraph. It used to go. So it was very valuable. So the devotees asked Prabhupada, can we, in all the temples, 100 temples in America, we can put this, so daily we can share some news. Prabhupada started laughing. We don't want it. What is there to share? What is there to share, Prabhupada asked? Everything is going on. Say. Try to understand this. In the spiritual world, these kind of news doesn't exist. Material world, what we are attracted to the news, doesn't exist in the spiritual world. Because, see, what is the thing? Same Hare Krishna Japa happens every morning. What you will write? Today morning you chanted 2 hours Hare Krishna. Every day same thing can happen. But what happens every day different? Different consciousness is experienced. Correct? More surrender to the Lord is experienced. We did Aarti for God Nitai today. Every day it happens. What is so new about it? It will become, if you look at a material time and space, the news will become hackneyed. Correct? And in the evening you read, you can read the same shloka. Same shloka, you can have a class every day and the same purport can also be there and the same explanation can also be there. Still it is pleasurable to hear. And that's why we say no. Some people say Bhagavad Gita pad liya. What is there? You read again, you read again, you read again. Yeah, it was just happened that we finished Gita after 6 years. It takes that much time. Somebody requested that before you go again cycle, let us do other books also. Because of 6 years we'll have to wait. But otherwise, you see all the messages same. We read the same Bhagavad Gita every day. What is there you're reading same? You're reading the same paragraph every day. Doesn't matter. You can read the same lines every day. Same word every day. We are chanting Hare Krishna, same thing. Somebody said same thing you're repeating for 2 hours. You gone mad or what? Correct? Because he's stuck to material conception. He cannot understand spiritual conception. So Prabhupada said there is no use. You will simply gossip. Prabhupada statement. You will gossip and waste time. I don't need. In fact, Prabhupada time they asked many times Prabhupada for a newsletter with which we can share this comments. Prabhupada said at his time, not needed. What is there you will share the news? Same thing is going on every time. What he will share? Because he is speaking from a spiritual realm. These things are on a different platform. But using these things, we can get into material also. So Advaita Vachyutam Anadi Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam. Purana Purusha is original personality. Navayovanam. Krishna is always fresh. Vedeshu Durlabham. Krishna cannot be perceived by academic study of the Vedic literature. Therefore Prabhupada said these books are third class philosophy. Because just being a Sanskrit scholar, you cannot enter into the transcendental realm. Prabhupada said only by devotion to a pure devotee. Therefore Prahlad Maharaj, when he said, Matarina Krishna parato sato amito vipadyadgana, he said, when Hiranyakashipu asked him how he became Krishna conscious, he said, leave that aside. I'll tell you how to become Krishna conscious. He said, you cannot become Krishna conscious, Father, if you maintain the same attitude. It is not possible. He said, Mahiyasham Pada Rajo Vishekam Niskinchananam Namrinitayam. When you take the dust of the pure devotees on your head, then only the spiritual world will manifest in front of you. It will not manifest by your challenging nature. Let Krishna be forced to appear in front of you. No. When we become submissive, when we develop a pure service attitude, Sevon Mukhe Jivado Swayameva Spurati Adaha. The Lord is manifest, Swayameva Spurati Adaha. when Sevonmukha attitude is there. So Chit potency, the knowledge potency of the Lord, that will manifest the Lord, not the printed ink and paper. When a pure devotee has expressed himself, Prabhupada says these books are my transcendental ecstasies. So when submissively we are reading with faith, and then it will manifest. So that is what is mentioned here. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham adhavakta. It is very difficult to understand the Lord academic study. There are some people, you can learn all the 100 Upanishads, Kantastha. You can know all the, so many references, so many stories of Puranas. But you will not know anything of the transcendental realm if you are not pleased the pure devotee. It is impossible. It will not manifest on in front of you. Correct? So therefore, adurlabham adhavakta. It is very easy for a devotee. And same personality is saying, Govinda Adi Puruṣam Tamam Bhajami. Brahma is saying, I worship the Supreme Personality. Yes, Prabhupada is saying, but Goloka reveals itself to every jiva soul when it is under the influence of spiritual cognitive potency joined to the essence of the ecstatic energy. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki.